Once again, it is extremely hot. You will hear my fan again. Also, we're expecting a heat wave. Yay. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today it is going to be my June book haul. Because apparently when I'm not making videos about books, I am buying books. Because today is going to be my biggest book haul ever to date. I have almost 20 some books, if not more, and I think that's my biggest book haul I've ever done. Also, I have a legitimate unboxing for you guys. I didn't pre-open and peek at anything. I have two packages. One is my book outlet book order from their 15% off sale, which, let me tell you, was a trial to get because Canada Post likes to put parcels where they're not supposed to be. For example, in somebody else's community box. Actually, on my way home today, I was actually calling Canada Post and was like, yo, where is my package? And they gave me a call just when I got off work and it's like, actually, it's in the wrong community box, but we'll call you back tomorrow. I went and checked the mail anyway, and there it was. So bless their souls, they actually got it in the right spot. So here we go with my first official actual book outlet unboxing. Since this video is going to be so long, I do recommend grabbing yourself something iced cold to drink because it is hot outside. Spoiler alert, there is actually coffee in it this time instead of water, so iced mocha. We're actually going to be starting with a different unboxing. I actually got several books, actually, which I'm going to show you. Several books from publishers, and I have one here from a publisher. Now, this could be either one or two things. It could be a book I'm expecting from an author that I'm really excited about, or it could be my Fiction Guild book for the month of June. The reason say it could be either or is because it's both from the same publisher and all it says is it's from Thomas Nelson. So let's open this up and see which one it is. "19 muscles." Oops, let's show you where I all live. Perfect. Guys, it's what I'm expecting and it's so beautiful. And I thought it was an ARC, but it's a finished copy. Okay, you're gonna see what I'm so excited about, you guys. It's Unraveling by Sarah Ella. She sent me an advanced release copy of her second book, Unraveling. It is so pretty. I mean, can we just, oh, I guess I can't point it at the screen. I need to put it to the lens. But it is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about this. There's the note from the author. There's a note from Sarah Ella in here and from Thomas Nelson. Oh guys, I'm so excited. I'm so very excited. I'm so glad it's this one. So this of course was sent to me by the author Sarah Ella as well as Thomas Nelson, HarperCollins. So I'll be reading and reviewing that pretty soon. Also, this is our book club pick for the month of July. It is out July 11th, so you guys should go pre-order. Sarah Ella's got some promos. I'll leave those linked down below. So the next couple books are also Fiction Guild books from Thomas Nelson. The first one is The Illusionist Apprentice by Christie Cambron. I took myself off the list of historical fiction because I was finding myself way behind in some of the historical fiction series they were sending out through the Fiction Guild. But this one still sounds really interesting to me and it's not part of a series that I know of. So this one I'm actually going to give a shot and it sounds pretty interesting. I don't really know what it's about. I'm terrible at synopsis. I'm just going to show you the books because there's a lot. The next book was also May's historical fiction for the Fiction Guild, and it is A Stranger at Ellsworth by Sarah E. Ladd. This is also a second book in the series. Like I said, I'm far behind in this historical Christian fiction. So, I don't know, I'm kind of intrigued. I might pick up the first book and read the series, or I might pass it on to somebody who might enjoy it a bit more than I do. The next book was an accidental duplicate because I am impatient and ended up buying it myself anyway, and that is The Noble Servant by Melanie Dickerson. So I got this one through the Fiction Guild as well as impatiently went out and bought myself a copy. So my duplicate copy I am going to be doing a giveaway for, as well as my duplicate copy of The Silent Songbird. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing a double book giveaway which will be open to Canadian and US residents. Enough about that, let's continue with the books. The next two books are advanced reader copies or ARCs that were sent to me by Revel. The first one sent to me by Revel was The Day the Angels Fell by Sean Smucker. This one is out September 5th, so this is an advanced reader copy from Revel for me to review for you guys. I will be posting a review closer to the release date, but again, I don't know what it's about. But it sounds like it's after Samuel's family is faced with tragedy, he goes on this journey to search for the Tree of Life. So I don't know what that means, if it's like the Garden Eden Tree of Life or not, but it sounds kind of interesting. And this is one of their YA books, and it's closer to the fall. Like I said, September. The next book is out November 11th, and that is Renegades by Thomas Locke. This is the second book in the series, and I'll show you that I did pick up the first book to read so I could get prepared for this because I knew this one was coming. It is a kind of futuristic sci-fi kind of adventure story, so this sounded really interesting to me. I've been tossing back and forth whether or not to get the first book, so when Revel said they wanted to send me this one, I was like, sure, I was interested in reading it anyway. So this is book 2 in the Recruits series. Now we'll just jump on into the books that I either received from friends or bought myself. The first book was a gift from my friend Felicia over at the Little Prairie Library. After my World War II Recommends video, Felicia said I need to pick this one up. So she recommended Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. I think that's how you say it. So she recommended this, and not only did she recommend it, she sent it as a very belated birthday present, which is awesome. I love gifts any time of the year. And I think this one takes place in Siberia and follows some Soviet storylines from World War II, so it's different than France and Britain kind of storyline, which I'm interested in, so thank you, Felicia. The next book was a bargain buy that I found for $1, and it's in practically brand new condition, and that was The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this, or the movie, and how it's kind of an instant classic. I've never read it. I've never watched that super old movie. I hear it's really good, but I just never picked it up. So I saw the book, I liked the cover, and it was only $1, so why not? The next book was also a bargain buy, and kind of a nostalgic bargain buy. Melanie from Christian YA Books and More was talking about the Mandy book series and how she picked up a couple, and Lindsay from Books for Christian Girls does Mandy reviews, and I grew up reading some of Mandy, not all of Mandy, because there's like, what, 50 books or 40 books or something? But at my local secondhand bookstore, there was a bind-up collection, the Maggie Collection Volume 1, and it has the first 5 books. And actually, out of the first 5 books, The Secret Tunnel and The Forbidden Attic were my 2 favorite books growing up from Mandy. So I picked this one up kind of for a nostalgic reread. As with most of my book buying, I do try to find good deals when I bookshop, and June was the month for good deals. So I did pick up The Noble Servant by Melanie Dickerson, and now I have duplicates, so you guys get the benefit from that. So this was our June book pick of the month, and we will be announcing our live show soon. Stay tuned for that. The next book I picked up was Amulet Volume 3, The Cloud Searchers by Kazu Kibushi. This name I will not say right, I know this. But I picked up Amulet Volume 3 just because I was sick of not having it, because I found all of my other volumes at the secondhand bookstore, and so I picked this one up at Chapters just to finally have my complete set, because it was starting to bother me. The next book I picked up was the first book in the Recruit series, The Recruits by Thomas Locke. I picked this one up in anticipation for the advanced reader copy I was getting from Revel. Plus, it just sounded really interesting, so I picked it up, and like I said, I'm terrible at synopsis. When I read and review this, I'll give you guys some more information about it, for sure. The next book I picked up was the third book in the Herringford and Watts mystery series by Rachel McMillan, The Whitefeather Murders. I really enjoyed The Bachelor Girl's Guide to Murder. I love Jem and Miranda and their shenanigans and all the stuff that ensues when they get into trouble. And I'm just loving the relationships and the friendships that are building, so I'm very excited for the third and final book in the series. And again, I think we're starting to get close to World War I and a lot of events that are kind of building up to that. So we'll see what the ladies get into this time. The next books were a fantastic deal, and I got a heads up from that from my friend Dustin at Book Babbles. He works at my local Chapters, and so he sent me a tweet saying, hey, I got these books, they're $3 each, you need to come down and get them. And they were these fantastic classics with these amazing covers. So I picked up all of the Jane Austen books that they have in these covers. So I picked up Northanger Abbey, Pride and Prejudice, which I did have to dig in the underbunks for, but I found it. Sense and Sensibility, which is probably one of my favorite Austen movies. I should probably read the book. And then this adorable cover of Emma. I think all of these covers are so pretty. You may have seen them on my Instagram already. And last but not least, Persuasion. And since these fantastic classics were on sale for $3 each, I went back and got more. So I picked up Tarzan and the Apes by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I'm just wanting to read more classics this year, and so this was a good initiative to actually pick up some books and read them. And the next one I picked up was A Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I really enjoyed this story growing up as a kid. I've seen a lot of movies. I didn't mind the Brendan Fraser one, but I've seen a lot of movies. I just enjoy the storytelling of Jules Verne, and I would like to actually read his works rather than seeing other adaptations of it. And I really liked this cover of this classic series. So if any more of these books come out, I'll definitely be picking them up. Because for $3, they're actually made very, very well and are very good quality and very good quality pages and stuff. So this was a really good bargain. So thank you, Dustin, for letting me in on the deal. And now, what we've all been waiting for, what I've been waiting for, and I've cut it off camera because, you know, better safe than sorry. So there's my invoice. And paper, and ooh, books. Okay, I gotta put this down again. So the first book I grabbed out of here is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. This is that Puffin Children's Classics edition that I am currently collecting, and they had this one on there, so I was like, why not? 15% off, add to my collection, and now my rainbow finally has orange in it. It's going to be looking so pretty on my shelf. The next two books are also highly recommended by all of you guys in the comments of my World War II recommendations video, and that was The Butterfly and the Violin by Christie Cambron, as well as A Sparrow in Terezin. Wow. Terezin. I'm saying that wrong. Also by Christie Cambron. So this is a duology. I forget what duology it is called. But you guys recommended this highly time and time. Like at least 5 of you recommended this in my World War II recommendations. And I've seen it on and off, decided to pick it up. So both of them are on sale for 15% off on Book Outlet, which is already cheap. So I picked them up. The next two books I was excited to get because it is a continuation of a collection of a series I started. And the first one is The Princess of the Silver Woods by Jessica Day George. This is, I believe, the third book actually. Yes, it is actually the third book in the fairy tale retelling series by Jessica Day George. I'm not too sure what the series is called, but this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and I really enjoyed this series, so I was really happy to see it on Book Outlet, and I can add it to my collection. The next book I picked up was also by Jessica Day George, and that is Sun and Moon, Ice and Snow, and this is, I think, East of the Moon. I can't remember the original fairy tale of it, but I grew up in like the 90s. It was like a late 80s, early 90s movie of The Polar Bear Prince, which was an adaptation of that fairy tale, so I kind of have an idea of what the story is about. So I was interested in picking this one up. I've liked Jessica Day George's writing. I think I'll enjoy this, and it's a fairy tale retelling, so why not? The next book I picked up was Illusionarium by Heather Dixon. Heather Dixon is the author of Entwined, which I highly recommend and really enjoyed. And this cover kind of matches Entwined a bit. I started reading this, but I did DNF it because it was slightly boring at the time, but I'm still really intrigued to read it. So I did end up picking it up because it was on sale, and it is a really beautiful cover, and it was kind of a little bit of a cover buy, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I think it'll be a good story once I actually get into it. The next series was actually straight up cover buys, I'll admit. They were straight up cover buys. I know they're fantasy. I know they've had really good reviews, some mixed reviews, but very decent reviews on Goodreads, so I thought I would pick them up and try it. And I was going back and forth quite a bit on Book Outlet, deciding whether or not to pick them up or not, and I decided to go for it, especially when they were on sale. The first one is Elemental by Anthony John, and I believe it's like a post-apocalyptical kind of story, but there's like a colony, and you know, every child is kind of born with like an elemental power, like earth, water, wind, or fire, and Thomas is the first one in his colony born without it. I love stories where people have elemental powers, so I definitely wanted to pick this one up because it sounded really cool, and of course the cover is super pretty. So they actually have the entire trilogy on Book Outlet, so I picked up Renegade, which is the second book, and then the third book, which is Firebrand. So they sound really cool, and they should be really fun fantasy reads, and they were in hardcover, which makes me so happy. So there you go. I did quite a bit of book shopping when I wasn't making videos, and I'm really excited I got my Book Outlet order because that was so stressful. Thank you, Canada Post, for that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna put those down because that was heavy. Okay, so those are all the books I bought in June. So like I said earlier, do stay tuned. There is a giveaway coming up. I just have to put a few more things together of what I want to give away, and then I'll let you guys know when you can enter and how you can enter for that. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!